Hello. So I'm posting in the group that I am going live. Touching preview. Come on, do your thing. All right. Come on, come on. Well, you know what? We're just going to do it this way. And you can just do what you want to do here. There we go. Okay, hopefully some of you will be joining me soon. So we'll just share this way. Facebook, just in case the other doesn't work very well. All right. All right. So here I am, y'all. I just finished doing the edits for the RightTube video for the tarot and writing, and I think it turned out pretty well. I'm kind of excited about it. I feel like I had to take off some of the. I can't get this ring off right now. I can't, not without hurting my finger. So I'm still swollen right now. I have a little fan going right there. I've got the fan back there going. I have the air conditioner cut on back in the room so that it'll pull it this way. Hey, so I thought right now maybe we chat. Like I said it on the Patreon description thing, I thought it might be more fun to chat with y'all, and I don't have to edit when I do a live video. So for those of you who are going to be watching after, I'm going to try to say what's going on, but if you check this out on YouTube, you should be able to see the live chat. Hello. Oh crap, did I not do something right? Let's see. Did I do this public? I might have. Well, I guess we're live chatting all the way around because I forgot to put it under unlisted. So anyway, what's good because I needed to do a live chat. So but I have the RightTube video done, and I thought this would be a really good way to talk about some things that are going on, and I need to share this elsewhere, y'all. So let's do this. So other people can watch too. All right. Well, actually, no, it's okay because it's already public live, so I can do a separate chat for Patreon. I need to do a chat anyway, and this works. We can talk about a lot of different things. Like I said, I just finished. I got all the edits done for the RightTube video that's going to be on the Journey with Burgess Facebook group. I mean, the Journey with Burgess YouTube channel, because it's about writing and tarot. I am prepping for NaNoWriMo, and I thought that would be a really good video to do this year because I've talked about how I outline and how I used to be a pantser. So that is part of what I've got going on. And then I need to do some more videos. I've not been feeling very well. I have been kind of swollen, and I'm having heat flashes and nausea, and my hands have been going numb recently. So I'm going to the doctor. So videos are kind of going to be intermittent as I feel okay enough to do videos for now, because I'm still not feeling up to par. And I've got to figure out what's going on. So the doctor changed it to Monday, which will be better anyway, because I pick up Victor at 3:00 on Wednesdays and Fridays. An appointment on Friday at 2:30 was not going to work. So now it's Monday at 2:30, so that's a lot better. So how is everybody doing? It is Inktober. It is Preptober. It is the Halloween Chronicles, and fall for people in this hemisphere is starting. For others, I guess it's the opposite. Um, and I think we're all headed like in a good direction. Hello, for those of us who are doing pretty decently with things. Um, I feel like I'm headed in a good direction. Um, you're loving the Halloween Chronicles. I'm a little bit behind with everything. I'm behind with Inktober. I'm behind with my journaling. I'm behind with a lot of things because I'm not feeling good. But I have been doing some reading and some outlining and stuff. I just haven't been able to do all of the things, like I said, because I just don't have the energy. So I have been prioritizing. Like yesterday, I was doing outlining. And today I thought, well, I'd get this video done. I'm resting. I have my vitamins right here that I'm about to take. Mr. Rockstar was off yesterday and he wouldn't let me do anything. I was couch bound. He put his boss hat on and he was like all bossy. And so he left for work. He works tonight. He left for work and he said, no, look, he said, you can do your live video. He said, you can get your video stuff. He said, but I don't want you doing a whole lot of stuff. He said, you are cut off after you get a couple of things done. He said, you can go in the living room, relax on the couch. And if you want to film a little bit of journaling for Patreon, go ahead because you can do your voiceover. He was like, but I don't. He said, if I call you at 11 o'clock tonight and you are up and doing a whole bunch of work and you are not either in the bed, in the bedroom, or on the couch, I'm going to be upset. He's like, I don't want you in that room doing all that stuff. So I figured I'd go ahead and do a live chat. And I meant to do unlisted for Patreon, but sometimes things work out for the best because this way we can kind of catch up with everything because I didn't get to do a coffee chat yesterday. And this way Patreon still will get their coffee chat, but they get this coffee chat live. So it's cool. So tomorrow morning I will try to do a video, or I may do a live chat for Patreon tomorrow night. I've been cleaning up some in here on and off, a little by little. Mr. Rockstar and I decided to not doing any of that October stuff. Mr. Rockstar and I decided to take out the small desk. When he's off next, we're going to take the small desk out of here. We have to move. We're going to get rid of some old furniture that we have, a mattress and box spring, and we're going to do some changing of things. We're going to put that small desk in our living room and then rearrange a few things in here, and we're going to start working on that closet in a few weeks. Closet's not coming until I'm feeling better, until the doctor tells me what's wrong. But for now, when he's off and I'm feeling okay, probably this weekend, we're going to move that small desk out of here so we can have a little bit better area in here. We might be moving just a few things around so that I have a little bit better film set up for live videos. I've just got too much furniture in here. It's a too small a room. And no matter how I've moved things around, nothing has really worked for very long because it's just not enough room. So I think we talked about it. He came in here and we were looking around. He was like, you're just not happy because there's too much stuff in here. And he said, I knew this was going to happen last time we moved stuff around. You just got too much stuff. And I really want this area behind me to be more writing related. So I want to have a decent backdrop, and yeah, so I'm excited about that. I like the Halloween Chronicles. My daughter is really big into Halloween, and her birthday is actually this coming Sunday. And Mr. Victor and I, tomorrow when I pick him up, we're going to make her a present, which I'm really excited about. We're going to make her a handmade present. I'm not going to talk about it just in case she watches the video, but I'm excited because we're going to make her a birthday present, me and him. And I'm working on working on my writing, the outline. I'm working on my drawing. I have figured out what I want to do a few videos about and how I want to do them. Now that I'm using the new video editing software, I'm finally sort of getting the hang of it. My only issue is that the voice thing, because I'm recording with the microphone, it's one of those blue microphones. It's a real big round one. Um, Sometimes the voice is, I'm filming with the webcam and I'm using that microphone, and the voice thing doesn't line up so well in Adobe Premiere. Who does the Halloween Chronicles? Romany from Romany's Realm. She has a YouTube channel, and she has been doing classes called When Frogs Sing for years. And up until this year, every year in October, I think October, she would do what was called the Christmas Chronicles. And she does these things about how, like, she has prompts, she has how-tos, she gives you like some collage stuff, she gives you some history. She like has um, like a podcast, and she talks about the history of Halloween. I'm pretty sure that when she was doing it for Christmas, she would talk about the history of Christmas and different things. This is my first year participating. This is my first year taking the thing. So I know Mrs. Brimbles is doing the Christmas in October thing. I saw an email about it, and I saw where she had a video. I'm so behind in watching videos right now. Um, you need to work on your art project. I'm working on I'm behind with Inktober. So I think this evening, once this is finished, I'm going to take my laptop back in the living room. I'm going to write the blog post that I want to go with the Write To video for tomorrow. And once I get the blog post done and scheduled, I do need to take a couple of pictures, but once I get that ready and get it up, then I'm going to work on Inktober, because those are little drawings. And I'm going to film some of that. And then I think I'm going to watch some videos on my TV in the living room through the tablet and the TV. And that way I can comment on the tablet if I want to, and watch some stuff I need to catch up on. And part of that's Halloween Chronicles. Part of that are Inktober videos and a lot of other videos people have been posting. I'm so behind. I feel like I still feel really scattered and a little bit all over the place, but I know that once I'm feeling better, I'll be able to fix some of that. I won't feel so scattered and all over the place, because I'll be able to get back on a regular routine. And right now, I'm taking a lot of naps because I'm just utterly exhausted. This fatigue thing is killing me, being hot. I'm cold natured normally. And right now, I'm hot natured. And I'm miserable. And we're in fall in October, but it's been 90 degrees here. So the heat and humidity hasn't helped at all. And I'm hoping that it's not anything major seriously. I'm hoping that maybe it's just menopause, or maybe it's a hormone imbalance. Maybe it's just stress and anxiety, grief and that kind of stuff, and regular, but I'm hydrating. I'm drinking water. I'm drinking juice. I'm staying hydrated. And the swelling and the sweating stuff is still, I'm just miserable. So I'm doing what I can, when I can, while I can. And that's been pretty good for the most part, I think. But it forces you to kind of slow down. So I've actually gotten quite a bit, even though it's frustrating not to be able to do all the things I want to do, it's made me prioritize things. So normally I have this really long to-do list of all the things I want to do. And I start with the bigger things. And I go through all of those things. Yay, you find you're it. I know. Hey, Cody. I'm so glad you made it. Yes, Sherry, Victor will love making a present for my daughter. I'm excited about a lot of the things that I'm doing, and prioritizing some of those things has been really good for me, because I realized that as long as my to-do lists are, I need to quit beating myself up when I don't get everything done. Beating myself up is not good. you know, I make, I'm good. How are you? Um, I feel like sometimes we have to take a step back from our to-do list. Hello. Um, we have to take a long look, take a step back at from our to-do list, take a step back from what we're doing if things aren't going so good, and then go, hey, wait a minute. Maybe all these things that are on this to-do list, if I can prioritize them, if I can find a way to work smarter instead of harder, if I can find a way to be more efficient, then hey, cool. And that's what this past few weeks for me, actually it's been longer than that, but really the last few weeks when all of this has been getting worse, I feel like it's helped me prioritize. Just lurking and playing with your new graphic tablet, that's cool. um, I feel like where I'm headed in a good direction, I just need to become a little bit more efficient. That way I can be a little bit more effective. I can be better about putting videos up because I can get better about editing them, which will make the whole process easier, and more time will be available to me, because the bulk of my time usually comes from taking so long to edit a video. It takes me forever to edit a video because I'm not very good at it. Stink bait, I don't drink soda. And I'm sorry you're bored. So I don't know. I don't know who you are, if you're lurking or what. Um, but I think we get to a point sometimes where we really have to take a hard look at what we're doing. And sometimes unfortunately, being forced to take a step back from all the stuff that you're doing on a regular basis really makes a big difference. Um, do I like tea? I drink sweet tea. I have switched recently from regular sweet tea to green tea with honey. I don't drink regular tea anymore. I'm a tea person, like sweet or lemon. I like I like sweet tea. I drink green tea with honey now. I like hot tea sometimes. Like I like different flavored hot teas with honey. Um, but I try. I don't drink I don't consume processed sugar anymore. Um, and so we don't drink sodas or any of that. But anyway, where I've been at lately has been this place of trying to figure out how I can get videos done that don't take me all day, 12 to 14 hours to edit, because I kind of do mine as I go. So, like Monday's coffee chats are usually filmed on Sunday evening or Monday morning, and then they're edited and then they're uploaded. As soon as I get finished editing them, then I upload them. That's if I don't do a live one. So, same with Patreon's Tuesday talks, same with my journal videos. On rare occasion, like with the Right To video, I will do it a little bit ahead of time. But if I journal in chronological order most of the time. Do I have to edit? I don't have to edit videos. When I very first started doing YouTube, I didn't edit videos at all, but my videos would be way too long. I have ADHD, and I take long pauses and I ramble. And sometimes I will ramble a little, like I'll go in a circle to get to a point, because I don't realize that I've gotten distracted. Um, I don't edit the live videos. Do I keep? Yeah, I use a computer. I use Adobe Premiere Elements, that video editing software now. I used to use Movie Maker, and then I used to use Cyberlink Power Director. But I like Adobe Premiere Elements better. I miss Movie Maker though. Movie Maker was really easy. I mean, it didn't have all the fancy stuff, but to edit a basic video, it was really easy, especially when you're talking about like a coffee chat video. Um, and now they've, from what I gathered, when they quit upgrading it and they didn't do it anymore for Windows 10, now evidently I've heard that they have a new version, but you have to pay for it, which is asinine, if you ask me. So, I have Movie Maker on my computer. If worse came to worse, I could use it, but it glitches because they haven't updated. I don't have Apple. I don't have Apple. Um, I have I had a computer built specifically for me. It's it's got a gaming console tower or whatever, um, but because it's more towards somebody who creates videos. I couldn't afford Apple. I can't afford to pay $2,000 for a computer. Um, Unfortunately, I would like to get the new Surface Pro 6 or switch to Apple, but I can't. I would need about $6,000 to fork out all the stuff I'd need for Apple to do what I do. You still use Movie Maker, but it doesn't like to save the video to YouTube when you voice over. I'm going to get your daughter to show you how to film and edit videos this summer. That's her major at college. Sherry, she needs to come visit me. Yeah, Movie Maker, if you do, when you do the voiceover, the easiest way to do, if you're still using Movie Maker, is to film your video, save it, open it back up in Movie Maker, and then hit narration in Movie Maker where you can do the voiceover right then and there, and it'll add it to it. It's a whole lot easier to use their little tool where you do narration in Movie Maker. Believe me, I went through that years because I had to learn how to edit, and Movie Maker was the first video editing software I used. I would love to switch to Apple, but I can't afford to. And until the YouTube channel grows enough so that I'm actually making pretty decent money from YouTube, it's but from what I gather from a lot of people, the new Surface Pro, it like you can draw with that one the same way that you can with the iPad, and you can use. It's really good. I hear it's really good. I like Windows as it's very user friendly. I make a tiny bit of money every 3 or 4 months. I don't get much from YouTube. It actually doesn't cover enough. I could save. I might get four checks in a year from YouTube, and you have to earn up to $100 before they even give you any money. So that tells you I maybe make $350, $400 a year on YouTube. So that's definitely not enough to buy even an iPad with. Okay. Yeah, if you want to add music and do narration, you're not going to be able to really do Movie Maker. It's just too much. They can't. You have to take it in chunks. And every time you add something to it, if you want to do it in Movie Maker, you save it. Then you have to open it back up in Movie Maker and then add, the next part. I have a webcam. I have a Logitech 920. So that's what I'm streaming with. But I think we get to a point though sometimes where we have to go, okay, what's most efficient? I could do live coffee chats on the channels maybe once a week, and that way I don't have to worry about editing. And then I could do other videos. Well, using Adobe has helped me figure out how to film better, how to film in chunks. OBS does do a live stream for YouTube, and I have OBS. Unfortunately, I live out in the country and I don't have fiber optics internet yet. We have the highest streaming internet I can get right now. Unfortunately, it's not as high as it needs to be if I wanted to do, say, a video in video for OBS, which is what I really would like to do with the live journal videos. But I'm gonna fix one or the other by the end of this year. Something is changing. Use a program called Perfect Video. It's an app you download on your iPhone. So your granddaughter taught you how to use it? I don't have an iPhone, but you really got to know what you're doing when it comes to ordering. I like white chocolate mochas from Starbucks, but I make them at home now. I get Starbucks every once in a blue moon. So I just figured it would be easier for me to do what's best for me that will come out better in the end. I don't even know what a unicorn shake is. But I figured that I could do what works better for me. Like the live chats are easier. You need a better editing software system, Autumn. Movie Maker isn't, especially since Movie Maker hasn't upgraded or updated at all in a long time. Movie Maker is not going to be good enough to do video editing at OBS because OBS takes a lot more oomph. It has a lot more oomph to it. If you're just creating a plain video and you want to edit it in Movie Maker will do that. But if you're talking about all that other stuff, which is the fancy stuff, Movie Maker's not going to cut it. That's why I quit using Movie Maker and went to Cyberlink. But Cyberlink I was having issue with. It wasn't to me as user friendly. I found a video and went looking at videos about movie editing software. Video editing software. And one of the ones that kept popping up other than Cyberlink and a couple of other ones was Adobe Premiere. I decided that I'd use it and I bought the whole thing. So I like it a lot better. I like OBS for doing live stuff. Sometimes if I'm doing like, if I can use OBS when I'm doing like a live journal video and I need it to turn upside down, because when I'm filming, lots of times I'm filming and when I go into video editing software, I have to rotate it because I'm filming it and the camera's actually filming it upside down. No, I'm not a real big horror movie person. I like action movies, suspense movies. I like disaster movies. I've never done, I don't know what a basic speed paint on art on paint software is. Have no clue. I would like to learn how to do digital art, but most of that's to help create like PDFs. Yes, like Twister. I like that kind of stuff for stickers and stuff like that and to do stuff for videos, but I don't do any digital art. You like horror movies. 2012, that was a good one. I paint on canvas, on paper, on watercolor paper in my journals. I don't have yet to really do very much digital art. So, but I love a good disaster movie. I love disaster movies. I like shark movies, end of the world, post-apocalyptic movie person. Yes, me too. I like romance movies, rom-coms. I like some comedy romance. I'm more of an action and suspense and desire. And I think my son got me into watching those. Yes, my husband and I went to see Meg. Yes, we are going to need a bigger boat. Yes, I don't have on my Jaws shirt tonight. I watched Jaws as a kid. I remember when it was out in the movie theater. I was really too young to go see stuff like that, but back in the 70s. I think we get to like a point. Thanks. We get to a point sometimes when we're doing journaling or planning or any of that. And if you're like me and you want to do everything, you really want to do all of the things. You cue jaw music, done it, done it, done it, done it. If you get to a point where you really want to do everything, um, you can get overwhelmed. You can get overwhelmed by wanting to do what everybody else is doing because you see so many people doing so many different things. And you're like, oh man, I want to try that. I want to try that. I want to try that. To different planners, different journals, different uh, supplies, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it can get a bit overwhelming. The first time you went body surfing, you thought Jaws, but then it was so fun you didn't care. I grew up in Charleston near the coast, right? Like we were 10 minutes from Folly Beach. As a matter of fact, when I was a really little kid, before my daddy died, he owned a gas station on Folly Beach. And so I was always at the beach. And Jaws, after Jaws, it was like, what? There's sharks in that water? What do you mean? I knew there were jellyfish and crabs and fish in the water, but I was like, what do you mean there's sharks in that water? Yeah, it can be extremely expensive. You can't afford Adobe products right now. That's why you still have Movie Maker. Well, I can't afford a drawing tablet right now. That's, but I had to get rid of just using Movie Maker because I do videos on a regular basis. So I had to figure out what was more important to me. And I can't do videos if Movie Maker keeps glitching. And every time you turn around, Movie Maker will corrupt your file. And then you have to start all over. And that was just too much for me. You're going to Universal. I heard that there is a Jaws ride. I want to go to the aquarium. They have this really, and I want to go to SeaWorld. My husband has never been to SeaWorld. And I want to take my grandson and my husband to SeaWorld. So, well, we're not getting eaten by the sharks. But I was feeling a bit overwhelmed because right now we are being inundated by all this 2019 stuff for journals and planners. Oh my goodness. Everybody is on the bandwagon for something. And I do have something I've already gotten for 2019, but I have pretty much decided to kind of do my own thing, to do a hybrid, a DIY of a couple of things that I really love. I went to SeaWorld once and I went as an adult. I went to Disney World once and I went as a teenager with our youth group back, I think it was 15. But I really feel like as much as I want to get all the things that are out there, all these things that are out there that we could use, I feel like none of it really fits. Jaws ride wasn't taken out like 2 years ago. I don't know. You're looking into that Moonology book. Yeah, I love the Moonology book. I think I'm about to do a review. Truth and Story just did a review on the Moonology cards. But I need to film. I don't know, Cody. It might have been taken out. I don't have any idea. It's a 20-footer. Oh crap. So I think where I'm at though, I think I'm going to use my own stuff. I think I'm going to create my own hybrid of Hobonichi bullet journal, Hobo Amjo. So in a way, I've been playing around with it for this last quarter, this month, and then next month, and in December I created it. I'm going to continue to play around with it until I figure out what will really work. And then by the time the end of December gets here, I'll have a really good idea and I'll be able to make it really work for me for next year. I was extremely tempted to get another Hobonichi cousin. I don't really, it works and doesn't work. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I love the paper and I love the calendar, and I finally figured out how to use the weekly, and I love the dailies, but there's still bits and pieces missing. And then I end up with another notebook. I end up with a bullet journal, kind of omni journal thing. And I really want something that really, really works for me, that's customized for me. And as much as everybody, the 70s was really cool. I was born in the late 60s, so I was a kid in the 70s. And I loved growing up as a kid in the 70s. I have aunts and uncles who are only like 8 to 10 years older than me, the youngest set of them, and they were teenagers in the 70s. So it was really cool. Yeah, I've been to quite a few concerts. Went to concerts, middle school, high school, back in the day on the beach and elsewhere. It was a blast. And uh, McDonald's and Hardee's, their burgers were really a lot cheaper, but uh, there's a lot more out there now. And I tend not to eat a whole lot of fast food. You loved your hobo, but that's not your style anymore. You do basic written journaling. It's not to remember, though, it's to process. Me too, Cody. You like the idea of the bullet journal. Sometimes you forget to journal for months, and with a bullet journal, you don't waste paper. No, you don't. Um, you're finally going to get into tarot writing again, getting inspired by this game on your phone called the Arcana. Hmm. Um, I haven't really played with any kind of apps like that. Um, I think we get to a point though where you have to figure out what works for you. And I like the Happy Planner, but I hate rings. I like the Erin Condren, but I hate rings. I hate spiral bound and rings. They don't work for me because anytime my hand sits on that metal or that plastic, it gets uncomfortable. I can't stand it. I don't like the way that they feel at all. Bullet journal to you, but your journal and planning are separate helps a lot. Yeah. I saw Tanya Tucker and Dr. Hook in the 70s, along with a few others that I can't remember. Like, I think it was the Doobie Brothers, and I'm not sure. I saw REM. Look it up on Google. I saw REM. I saw uh, Tina Turner, Patti LaBelle, Bon Jovi. They were an opening act actually for Rat in the mid 80s before Bon Jovi got really big. And Bon Jovi was way better than Rat, which I didn't even care for them much. But the Happy Planner, you can take paper out and add different things in. Um, yeah, the Happy Planner is great for a lot of people. I saw Tina Turner in the 90s. I loved Tina Turner and Patti LaBelle. Um, I saw a bunch of different people. My music tastes are eclectic, so um, I'm trying to think. I guess I could make a list. Um, but I don't like spiral bound notebooks. I have a few. Like I have one, this one, and this is where I write down coffee chats that I want to do or I get ideas for. This was a gift. I got it in Happy Mail, and I write down coffee chats and stuff like that in here. It's one of the few ones that I actually use that is spiral bound, and that's because I just jot down ideas and information and stuff like that for coffee chats. And I got it in Happy Mail. You didn't find much on Dr. Hook. He had a really big song out in the 70s. He was big in the 70s. Um, you just got the largest ARC system on sale for $7. You like to bullet journal and a Midori. Yeah, I have. Let me see. Where is it? Okay, this is a folio. It came from Taroko Design. And I have two Taroko Breezes in here, which are the same thing as the Enigma, but they're half the size. I'm forever yours. Kim was envisioning skydiving planning. Yeah, midair. That reminds you. No. So I have like done this where in the very front of here, I have it set up like a Hobonichi. And like this was last week, and this is this week. And then you get to the daily pages. But I also have bullet journal stuff in here. And I've got to catch up on my tracking. So I do daily pages, but I have the choice of doing more than one page. Like this is actually 2 pages and a little tip in. And then this is today's page. I don't have Sunday or Monday in here because I wasn't feeling good at all. And then this is a completely separate one I'll show on the other channel. But you like the ARC system, but you couldn't do it once you have everything in one, but once to separate a few things out, you felt like you could focus better. You're not that adventurous. Still feeling the tingles when you jump off. That's the worst part. You know, my husband wanted to do that for a while. And then we started watching some videos and some documentaries, and we decided not to because accidents happen. And we're both kind of clumsy. So, but I kind of set it up how it works for me. And I have a notebook as well that kind of goes with where I have a whole separate thing for journaling, for my actual journaling. So it's completely different, like where I do my art, but I do add little bits and pieces of art in here. But I do more of the watercoloring elsewhere. So I don't know. I've been kind of trying to figure out what I really want to do. I like the Hobonichi. I'm a calendar person. So I have to have a calendar. That whole log thing, that's the bullet journal from the original way that you set up a bullet journal, doesn't work for me. So in here, which is where I have like the art, I have some stuff. That's where we went to see Meg. So I have some stuff in here. It's okay, Helen. I love the book. I that's why I use it. But I don't like spirals. It's not very often I actually will use a spiral bound, and that's why I said I use this one because I like this and because that's where I put my ideas. So it's not I mean, it is and isn't a big deal, if you know what I mean. Like, I would not normally buy them myself. I thought about, and David told me I could actually take this out, the spiral out, have, I could do the Coptic stitching and stitch it, or I could take it to Staples and have it bound. I decided not to worry about it because it's one of the few, it's like the only notebook I use that has spiral, and I use it specifically for coffee chats. So don't worry. I love it. Don't worry about it. You tried for years to do NaNoWriMo. You thought this is my year, but your daughter's coming home for a visit. She goes to school and Hawaii's been gone for 5 years. So no Nano for you. So I do journaling like this and here. And I'm gonna do some notes there. Yeah, that's a lemon. That was the Chinese food and little bits and pieces of the menu, and this was the weather. I've been kind of doing different things to figure out what my style is, and I love the one big thing and then the journaling. You know, I like that kind of journaling a lot. Like where you do, this was when we had the hurricane. you know? So I like this kind of journaling. The flashlight, the cooler. You can tell hurricane prepping here. That was when I went to Walmart and then we were waiting for the truck to unload the water. And I did the bulk of my shopping at Aldi's. Thanks. But you know, like, so I have some catching up to do on my journaling. But when I do pictures and stuff, because I really prefer to add, like, this is a journaling page in here. Most of the time when I do collage stuff or I add pictures, I do it in here. So like this was when we went to see Meg, and we went out to eat and we went to see Meg, and we did like a lot of stuff that weekend. So it's been, you know, it's been a process of kind of trying to figure out like what I like and what I don't like, and how my journaling has been changing, because it's changed a lot from when I very first started a few years ago. When I very first started adding art, I was doing, you know, all different kinds of things on the journal pages. The more that I've done this, the more that I realize that as you grow and evolve, sometimes as you get into things, things change, and you realize that what you still like, okay, but maybe not as much as the other thing that you think you would rather try, or maybe you try it and you go, oh, I love this. I still like the other thing, but I love this. And that's where I've been out the last few months. Actually, this whole past year has been going through figuring out what I really love and how I really love doing the journaling, and what I really want to separate, what I really want to keep together, and how I really want to do my journaling. Because I love journaling. I love doing art. I love doing like the pictures and stuff like that. I love adding the pictures to my journal pages. After a lot of careful consideration, that's why I chose to not do the Hobonichi finally. Last year I was thinking about, I was like, oh, well, I don't really need to do it. It's so expensive. And I don't change my covers anyway. I have the same cover I've been using since Maya gave it to me. And before that, I had my Hobonichi in a traveler's notebook, and I just covered the outside of the book. That's what you've been figuring out. What your journal, yeah. And I know what I love and I know what I like. It's just kind of figuring out how I want to do them. I like the idea of doing journaling in a B6 when I do this kind of journaling, because it doesn't take up so much space, and I get to think about, okay, what is the big thing from that day? Like, let's see. This was when Aretha Franklin died. Yeah, this is when we started, like we did the date night, and this, there's some journaling. What I like about a traveler's notebook is that I can do different things. You switch to a B6 for regular journaling. See, this is what I've been trying to figure out. Do I want to do this kind of journaling in my A5, or in this right here, and then continue with the one that I made myself with this kind of journaling, where I pick something big from that day and I journal about it, or I use the prompts, from whatever month. Like, the only thing about me and prompts is that sometimes I like the prompt and I'll use the prompt and I'll do that. And then sometimes there are days when I don't like the prompt. It just doesn't resonate with me. I don't like it at all. And I'll either sketch my own thing, or I don't sketch at all because I don't like the prompt. And, you don't sketch anymore. I'm not sure if you want to anymore. Yeah. So that's where I am at with prompts. Like, I tried to kind of do my own thing even with the prompts, but me and prompts, I have a hard time with a prompt going through a whole month anymore using prompts. Because when I journal, like, I've debated, because I could do a prompt and then journal, you know, and instead of doing prompts in a sketchbook, I tried prompts like, let's see, is it at the beginning of this or elsewhere? See, this was my day with Victor. Me and David spent time with Victor. We had a picnic, um, watching a documentary or a movie. So then I'm like, well, I don't know. I tried to do prompts for a while, but it just didn't really work out so well. So I'm doing trying to do the Inktober prompts, but I'm doing them in a little A6 that I made, a little A6 junk journal. And I quit pressuring myself to do something in every single one of those every day. I don't do that anymore. I'm not pressuring myself. I do I do whatever feels right for that day. Like if there's a big thing and I want to add one thing and I journal about it, I try to stick with doing one or two of that, the journal art kind of things. And then if I have time to do more, I do. If I don't have time to do more, I don't. But I don't like having my to-do list on my journal for the day page. That was one of the things about the daily pages in the Hobonichi. They have these the little boxes, and you put your priority list things on that daily page up there, and then you do your daily journal. I don't like a to-do list on that. So that's why I decided I've been changing things up. I did a tip in with the to-do list, and I tried that. And then that just seemed like I did that on Saturday's page. And then because I didn't need the back of it, I put like an affirmation on there. And then I have this. And then I did this kind of like, kind of journaling where I talked about some stuff. And then I was like, well, no, this isn't, I don't know that I really want that in there either. And then I thought, well, what if I just make the one page, I tried it today. What if I just make this one page about the to-do list, and I actually am more, I write down more. Like instead of just breaking my to-do list down into like a little easy, like short to-do list, I actually wrote everything down separate and divided it into like priorities, and things like that. And then I thought I could write like a quote or some notes or something at the bottom of that page. And then I could kind of do that daily little bit of journaling, like the Hobonichi style journaling, or what people now think of more as the Fobonichi style journaling, where I did that, where I did a little journal about my day. And then I'm like, I don't know, because see, I never did get to this page. So this is probably going to end up being tomorrow's page, which I'm okay with. And then continuing with that regular daily journaling kind of stuff in here. I'm trying not to make extra work for myself, to be honest. I debated and debated. The only thing I don't like about the notebook I made is that I used the 68 GSM Tomoe River paper and vellum and stuff to make it, but it's plain, it's not dot grid. Whereas this is a Taroko design Breeze cut down to B6, and it's still 68 GSM Tomoe River paper, but it's dot grid, which means I don't have to worry about whether my handwriting is neat using a pencil board or a ruler, because otherwise my handwriting is going to look like see how that slants? Hey Cheryl, happy belated birthday. But see, like you can tell like the different kinds, I've been doing different kinds of journaling, changing it up sometimes just to kind of see what I like best. How do I really want to do this? And I'm changing it up constantly this year because I really want to have more I want to have it all. I want to kind of know more of what I'm doing for next year. So my goal is to just change things up randomly this year, this quarter, this last quarter of the year, so that by the time I get to the end of November, the middle of December, I have a really good idea. Do I want to continue making my own journals, or do I want to just keep buying the Taroko Breezes and cut them down to B6? You know, do I want to get another Enigma and use it instead of two different journals? For, you know, I'm kind of figuring things out. Slants don't bug you. Writing is more important. I do a lot of writing. I haven't really shown it as much because I don't show my personal journaling much on social media. But see, that I stuck that in there, but this is journaling. And then I have journaling here. And this is nothing but journaling over watercolor right here. And this was some journaling. This was journaling, and I added that. And I did this in the background, this watercolor, and then I journaled over all of that. You're welcome, Cheryl. There should be, yep, and there's another page of journaling. So how do you get past the being self-conscious about bad handwriting, spelling, and just having boring content? Well, I was an English major, a communications major, a journalism, written communications major, and then I switched to psychology. So usually the spelling is usually only off if I'm in that like zone and I just am writing so fast my brain, the ADHD kind of can't keep up. But the bad handwriting, the more excited I get and the more into the zone I get, the worse my handwriting is because I'm faster. And then it gets harder and harder to read, and I even have trouble reading it sometimes. Now, if I'm taking my time and I'm slowing down, then my handwriting is actually pretty neat. Here's two different styles, and you can tell from the handwriting. There's more slant. It's neater over here. There's more slant right here. So my handwriting isn't so bad. It's the but my personal private journaling, I don't show. I don't show it. If I have that kind of journaling, people don't need to be reading it. And I will tell you, I quit doing I quit doing that in a notebook where people are bound to see it, because people on YouTube will actually pause your video, put it on the big screen, and read what you wrote. You know, I don't have enough time or energy to worry about what somebody else is writing in their journal. I don't work, you know, I got my own life to live. I'm worried about my own crap. I'm not worried about somebody else's crap. But people, just so you know, I mean, if you're putting it on Instagram, if you're putting it on Twitter, if you're putting it on Facebook, if you're putting it on YouTube, or wherever you're putting it, because there are other places, Tumblr and Pinterest and all kinds of places, just realize that there are some people out there who will take the time to blow the screen up and read what you wrote. For me, you just realize that it's not retraining and not showing anyone, but you also have dyslexia, so you just deal. You also write out when you feel like it. Yeah. So people are going to judge whether I can look at something and go, oh my God, that is so horrible. And then other people are like, they loving it. And I'm like, but I see all the errors, every single mistake, every single line I colored out of, or, you know, every single error. For the most part, I'm looking at it and I'm judging it way more harshly than anybody else could. So when I see, like, I did my cover and I realized after I did the cover, I should have made the coffee cup up higher towards the middle and did the banner smaller. But that's okay. You know, because I'm going to continue to put little coffee stickers on here. I have a coffee sticker on the back. You know, people are going to look at my pages. That I am not good at lettering. Sometimes it looks okay, sometimes not so much. You know, but people are going to look at my pages and they're going to like them or they're not. But the person who is the worst critic is me. So for people who make their negative comments and stuff, you know, I don't sweat over it anymore. You know, I don't know. The comments that really bother me are completely different kind of comments. It's when people take the time to email me and stuff with the really negative comments that bothers me. And I've got to get past that. I'm doing better about it. But one of the things I've been working on this whole year has been not being such a people pleaser, doing things more for me and because I want to and because I enjoy it, and not worrying about other people's opinions. Part of being brave, which it's my word for this year, is following my heart, following what I love, following what really works for me. And you know, there are going to be haters going to hate. So, you know, I don't know. I feel like I'm in a better place now than I was last year. And I know that I still have a ways to go though, you know. But I'm hoping, really hoping, that by the end of this year, I'll have kind of figured out more of my own style and more of what I really want to concentrate more on, and where I really want to go with both YouTube channels and Patreon and my website. Because I love creating art. I love journaling. I have been an avid journaler since I was in elementary school. But what I really like are two completely different styles. And I like that where I can add collage and pictures and do a little bit of lettering, and I can do a little bit of a whole bunch of different things throughout my day. And then I like the one big image and some journaling about it or quote or whatever. But I don't like them together. People judging you actually says a lot more about their own low self-esteem. Yeah. It does, Kat. It does. But I have to figure out a few things. Some things I'm doing for myself. Hello. Some things I'm doing more for myself. And then other things I've realized that I have had to do because I'm doing stuff on social media. But I have had realized that I cannot continue to do certain things like that take up a whole lot of time just because that's what people want videos about. You know, if I'm not doing it on a regular basis, if I'm not doing it for myself and I wouldn't normally do it, then I don't need to be doing it. If it's taking up a tremendous amount of time where I could actually be doing a video that's about something that would be much better and much more something that I really love and that I'm actually doing. You know, it's like people who do bullet journal pages or planner pages, but they're doing them, but they're not really using them. If I'm creating something, I need to be using it. You know, I don't want to do a bullet journal page just to do a bullet journal page. Encouragement and positive vibes go a lot further. Amen. Yes. 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 I have been really encouraged to continue like towards the figuring out, like doing the DIY stuff. A lot of people want to do that. Now, there are a lot of us out there who do want pre-structured pages, and I'm tempted. So what I've figured out is there has to be a way to kind of combine some of the stuff I need that's already pre-existing or that I can purchase, and some of the stuff that I really want to make myself, because what I need isn't really available. It's not out there. So I'm going to create it for me, you know? And that's what I've been doing with the DIY thing. I combined bullet journaling and Hobonichi and kind of mushed it all together. Now, is it set up in a way that is probably best right now? No, because I put it all together, like hodgepodged it together. And I wasn't really sure of how it would work best. Now that I'm in it and I'm halfway through the month almost, when we're on the 9th, I'm going, oh, well, you know what? This is how I should have done. So what I've been doing is taking notes, because I've already got it set up. So I'm taking notes so that I can kind of either play around in an extra notebook, play around with some setups, kind of figure it out with a pencil and figure some things out. And then that way, by the time we get towards the end of the year, where I'm actually in December going to start setting up my DIY whole planner system, I'll call it, because some people are like, well, if it's a bullet journal, it's not a planner. Well, if I'm doing my planning in a bullet journal, it's a planner. I don't care what you call it. I don't, a planner. Well, a planner's an Erin Condren. Well, a planner's whatever I'm planning in. You like my journals because you actually journal, not just put every possible art media on a page. Oh, no. Yeah. Well, this is so since I'm talking about this, so one of the things that I've realized is that I like having the calendar. I like having the calendar where I can get to it, but my calendar should be at the beginning of every month in a way. Okay. But at the same time, for pre-planning, I kind of need to have it up front. And then I'm thinking, you know what? I've got the B6 calendar in here. I've actually got my Snoopy B6 calendar in here. So why don't I, for the sake of, let me get to October. Okay. So in this one, I didn't really do any pre-planning. The only thing that's got written on there is my daughter's birthday. Why don't I, for the month of November, why don't I here put in my pre-planning and the B6? Jeremiah, I don't know what in the world, but you know what? We're done. Okay. All right. Agreed. A planner is when you plan in. You also agree that you like that you're just sharing your journaling journey. No. I mean, I like some of the trends. Don't get me wrong. There are some trends out there that I absolutely love. And as much as I love the Hobonichi, and I do love the Hobonichi stuff, I love all of it. But I love it. But at the same time, I end up hating it because no matter how hard I try to make it work for me, there are a lot of things about it that just don't work for me. And I end up having to have more and more supplements. So this year I decided, and it is so expensive. This year I decided, you know what? I'd much rather have my cute little Snoopy calendar. And I can do my forward planning in this B6. Okay, do my forward planning in the B6, because this B6, which is going to end up in a different traveler's notebook for next year. I'm going to switch some things up finally. So I can take this and throw it in my purse, which is a whole lot easier than throwing this big chunky A5 in my purse. I can do this. Okay. And then when I get to the month, when I get to where I set up the next month, when I get to, like for now, when I get to the point where I'm setting up November, if I didn't already have November's calendar in here, right? Like, so here's November's calendar. And here's November's weekly pages, which is set up like the Hobonichi. What paper did I paint the calendar on? This is 68 GSM Tomaway River paper. So when I do my calendar, what I'd actually start doing is, instead of doing it in the front like in the Hobonichi, I would do it where the new month is going to start, like in the bullet journal system. And I'll do my page that says, hey, we're getting to October. You know, this is welcome to October. this got stuck in here. I did not mean to have 2 October pages. So if I do that and then I do a log, and usually I have the log, and that's where I write down things. Like I write those things after the fact. My log is for after the fact. And then I juice things like, I'm behind with this. It's not that I'm not doing the tracker. It's that I've been sick, so I haven't kept up. I've actually done it on the days. So with little colored stickers, I just need to take the stickers and go in and color this in and color these in. So I have the tracker stuff. That's my master task list and my intentions and my focus for the month of October. So then we get to where I've done the setup, like bullet journal style. So I have the combination of the Hobonichi, like these weekly pages and the monthly calendar, and then starts in where I have the combination of Hobonichi / bullet journal. And then we get to daily pages where I am doing to-dos and journaling and, adding tip-ins. That was where I did that live video, and I put it right here. And I actually wrote, done while on live coffee chat for YouTube, as an example of inks. You see what I'm saying? So I'm actually doing my stuff. So it is truly a hybrid of the Hobonichi and a bullet journal, which would be like an Omni journal or a Hobo Omjo. Okay, you thought it's Tomoe River paper. It's 68 GSM. Those are Taroko Design Breeze journals. That's where you're struggling. You can't find what you need, so you're going to have to create it, which takes time. Yeah, well, that's why I'm playing around with what I have right now. And at first, I wasn't sure what I was going to be doing the B6 with. And the B6 really works well for me as a sort of an everyday carry. I could take it with me and do things in it if I needed to, but it's not going to be as in-depth and detailed as this is. For planning now. For journaling, almost all the bulk of the regular journaling, like the art kind of stuff, documenting my day, illustrating my day, it goes in the B6. The documenting my day, that is the plans and the list and the ideas and the quotes and the notes and that kind of stuff, it goes in the A5. I write big. Yeah, I'm making a Burgess journal. Okay, so what about making a calendar that is removable? You can laminate it and write on it with dry erase markers, but then you can have it out to refer to. I don't have a laminator. And I don't know. I actually have a dry erase board that is a calendar. I don't know. I have a calendar hanging on the wall. I have a calendar in a B6. I have a calendar in an A5. I have ADHD. And the more I remind myself, the more I can remind myself that, hey, this doctor's appointment is Monday at 2:30. Or, hey, I've got to go get Victor. Or, hey, Victor's got this thing going on. Or, hey, my mom has got this thing. The more I can remind myself of stuff that's going on when I see it in different places, like on the fridge or on the wall, when I sit at that desk, or when I'm, the more I'm likely not to get distracted and forget about it. So for all intents and purposes, a laminated calendar will work really well if I set it up and I use that. But if I stick it in my journal, dry erase marker is going to end up on my journal pages. So I'd have to make one for the weekly pages and for the actual calendar. And that's just too much. I'd rather just write them out. I mean, once you figure out how you can put a calendar, if you use the same kind of journal all the time, once you figure out how to do a basic calendar and you know what the numbers are, it's really easy. Once you figure it out, you use a ruler, you measure it out. Once you figure it out, you just continue with this. And if you use the same kind of journal, it's the same time, same thing every month. And I get to a point where I don't even use a ruler anymore. My lines are straight enough. They're straight enough. They don't have to be perfect. With the weekly calendar, I did the same thing, and that's set up like the Hobonichi, but I am making it more my own. This is this week. I mean, I have some stickers. These stickers, I think, came from like either Dollar Tree or Michael's clearance or something. You know, and they're not like matchy. You know, I didn't go spend a fortune on Etsy or somewhere else and get a whole layout thing for my whole month. You know, I'm either drawing it myself or I'm using stickers somebody sent me, or on rare occasion, like I did for Jaws, I'm buying some stickers. Like these stickers came in a scrapbook kit that I got forever ago. And when Clemson and South Carolina Gamecocks, when they play, or like the football game, I will take one of these football stickers. Or if Victor goes and joins the soccer team, or, you know, like I've had these stickers forever when I used to scrapbook. I could laminate at a printer, but yeah, those dry erase markers would get on my journal pages, and then that would drive my OCD crazy. Thanks, Paula. I love the idea of being able to be more efficient. There are some things I would definitely laminate, especially if it was something for NaNoWriMo and it wasn't going to go in a journal. Maybe it could get tucked in a pocket where it didn't matter, or it could hang on the wall. Um, that would work. But yeah, I don't know. Once you get to a point where I don't even know. That's the first time I heard of that, Adeline. You can email me and tell me if you want to, or tag me. Um, you can get free stickers. That's cool. Um, but I like creating my own things. Back in the day, I used to, instead of buying stickers for certain things, I would draw it myself. Sometimes if I didn't have a washi tape, and I still do this, if I didn't have a washi tape, I did it with some of this. Like I ran out of the Planet washi tape. Where is it? Right here. I ran out of the Planet washi tape, so I did my own little thing right there. Okay, cool, Alan. You know, I try to make things work for me. You know, like I can draw a bunch of these little things in a bunch of different sizes, create a PDF from it, color them in or not color them in, and print it on Avery sticker paper, a big 8x11 or 8.5x11 or whatever. Print it out, and I can either print them out in different colors where I've colored them in, or I can leave them black and white and then color them in for whatever I want, like a bunch of little traveler's notebooks, a bunch of little laptop screens, a bunch of little things, you know, that I would use. I don't have the money to buy stickers or to get subscription boxes to stickers when I could actually spend that money on things that are much more important to me, like a new laptop, or, well, I just got a new inexpensive laptop, but this is for my writing, this right here. Not really doing video editing on it, but I can get a new tablet or a new, something like that. Like I really would like to figure out how to do more digital art, so I could create those little stickers myself. And right now my tablet, I think I might be able to do it. I don't have a pen to do it with yet. I have a Samsung tablet A. I think it's a 7-inch. It's a 4A or something like that. But it's an older one. And I'm pretty sure I could put the drawing software on there. I'd have to get a pen. And I haven't done that yet because I have been looking at pens and trying to figure out which one would be the best pen for the Samsung. And because my tablet is the smaller, older one, I haven't been able to find exactly what I want yet. And I still don't know that much about them. So I'm still doing research. And they're a little bit expensive. So I've been looking into that. And I've been looking into, well, if I spent my money on a traveler's notebook, I tend to use mine. I'm not collecting to just collect. I like them, and I wish I could afford to like have a big collection. But one, I don't have the room in here to collect them like that. And two, the person that I loved the most, I loved Janelli Fish. She's not making them right now. So I've been picking and choosing what I want. Like I bought this one from This Is New to Me. And it's This is Justine King leather, and I love this. I also love the Leather Quill Shop, and I really want one from Rowena from Sojourner. I want, but that's a lot of money to spend. That $100 or that $120, that's an awful lot of money to spend. I could buy the pen for my tablet and something else and something else and some new Daniel Smith watercolors and probably a new brush too for that amount of money. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. Do I, I have to figure out what my priorities are. It's like buying the Hobonichi. When I did buy the Hobonichi, I didn't buy the cover because I had a cover. And I was like, well, if I buy the Hobonichi, then I can't buy da 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 da. So when it comes to some of this stuff, that's one of the reasons why I create a lot of things myself, is because it's more cost efficient. That way it leaves me room to spend my money on things that are more important to me, like the watercolors themselves, or trying a new brand of watercolor, or getting Starbucks once a week and getting out, and doing things like that. Like I would really like to, like for me with NaNoWriMo, there is not a municipal liaison here where I live. So I have to drive an hour out to go to the one, either way, about an hour out to go to where they do their meetups. I have yet to go. I have never went because it's always, it just seems like that hour there and that hour back, that's 2 hours I could actually spend writing, instead of traveling to go. But I know I need to get out of the house more. I know I need to start doing stuff like that. So this year I decided I was going to make the effort and go, and get out and do that kind of thing, because I've yet to do it and I really want to. I really wish we had one here, but I live in a very small city, big town, and we don't have that we don't have a whole lot out here. And we have an Air Force base, and but so that's what I've been kind of concentrating on, is where do I really want to spend my money? What do I really want to do? And I decided that next year, instead of spending my money on a bunch of supplies, I'm going to start doing a lot more stuff myself. And I'm going to save up some of the money so that I can buy some of the bigger dollar supply items that I really want, like the Surface Pro or the iPad with a keyboard, or, maybe a MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, where I can be more mobile with video editing. Because although I can use my laptop to write with, I can put the video editing software on it. But because this was an inexpensive one, he didn't purchase one that was really fancy. It doesn't have a lot of the oomph I would need to do video editing. So this is strictly more for writing and for doing blog posts and Facebook and that kind of interacting stuff. But for video editing, not so great. So the bulk of my video editing gets done on the computer, on the desktop. I'm not a big phone person. I finally got a Samsung Galaxy 3S just a few months ago. Finally moved up from a little Net 10 $20 phone, because I don't like talking on the phone much. I like a keyboard, and I like touchscreen. So texting, I text because I have to, but I don't like to. I'm just not a phone person, and phones are like the thing, and that's not my thing. So I would rather have a tablet that I can actually hook a little keyboard to. And that would be the bulk of what I would do. And I was thinking, well, I could either get like a Surface Pro or, so that's my goal next year, is to save money and to do, like, to buy the bigger ticket item rather than to spend a whole bunch of money on a bunch of little things, or a whole bunch of money on stuff that, so that's, yeah. But I don't get me wrong. I have been extremely tempted to get some of these things that are so beautiful, like all the traveler's notebooks that are out there, ordering Hobonichi stuff and fighting again throughout a whole nother year of the love-hate. I use it 1 month, the next month I don't. I use it 1 month, the next month I don't. I don't want to go through that. I want to set up something and I want it to really work well for me. And that's a hybrid. It's a Burgess journal. as Paula said. It's something that I know will really work for me. And I think that's the great thing about things like the bullet journal and stuff like that, is that you can truly make things your own. I think that's why so many people started doing the Hobonichi stuff, is because the Hobonichi, for a lot of people, some people can't order it without spending even more money because of shipping and handling. It's not available to every single person. And even for some people where it's available, it's just so expensive. And then you take into the fount that you've got this, you know, where a lot the covers, for some people the covers are a really big thing. Covers aren't really a big thing to me. I like my leather cover that I have that Maya gave me, but to be honest, if I didn't have it, my Hobonichi would end up in a traveler's notebook. I doubt very seriously if I'd buy the Hobonichi covers. I've liked a few of them. Don't get me wrong. I've liked a few of them. Like, I love the one this year that they're coming out. Well, the one for next year with the alphabet on it. I love that one. So I don't know. Did my thing freeze up? Because I know there's a lag. Or have I just been talking? And yeah, I've just been talking. So I've been on here for almost an hour and a half, y'all. And I'm getting really hot. You can see I'm starting to sweat. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get me some water, and I'm gonna go park my butt on the couch and with my journal and my watercolors and my contraption that I made that's homemade so that I can film. And then that way maybe tomorrow I can do a voiceover because I have some stuff I need to film and some stuff I need to do. I thank you all for being here. You need to check out. Thanks, Cody. This is pretty much what my Patreon covers pretty much everything I do. It's a little bit of everything. And then requests, people have requests. And I do follow more, and it's much more in-depth and detailed. But I love that y'all are here. Sometimes things happen serendipitously. And today, although I was going to do the Tuesday talk for Patreon, maybe it's better that this way, and then Patreon will still get their video. I'll do theirs probably tomorrow evening. So at least they'll be prepared because they'll know I'll go live tomorrow night. So I'll probably go live about 7:30 tomorrow night for Patreon. And I'll make sure that I hit unlisted. Won't mess that up. Thanks, y'all, really, for everything. Like I said, before I go, though, I have looked at all kinds of beautiful planners and beautiful notebooks and traveler's notebooks and folios, and it is so very tempting. And if I could afford to, I would get them. So what I decided to do, like I said, is make some of my stuff, save next year, put a priority thing, a wish list together, and work towards, but allow myself to be rewarded. So like for NaNoWriMo, if I win NaNoWriMo, and I do what I'm supposed to be doing, which is writing every day for the most part, because there are going to be a couple of days where I know I won't be able to write. So I'm going to write a little bit ahead. That way I have a goal, I have a reward to work for, and I can say, okay, I can spend this $100 on that folio that I have been in love with for like over a year now. I can do that if I win NaNoWriMo. And it's sort of like positive reinforcement. So I don't feel like I'm just spending money that I feel guilty if I spend like a good amount of money on something that doesn't feel like it's a need. It only feels like a want. So I don't know, y'all. Still figuring things out. But y'all have a good one. I'm heading out. I will see y'all later. And if you want to make sure that you can put your stuff down below if you have any questions or whatever, and I'll try to get back to you. Thanks, y'all. Bye.